Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast, More Than a Mortgage. I'm your host, Gavin Sessions, and today I've got the pleasure of hosting Jake Stone with Tetelestai Homes. He just educated me on how to say that. It's a Greek word. We're going to get into what it means here shortly. But real quick story, just met Jake on Friday, actually. So this doesn't usually happen quite so fast. I had a cancellation from a guest, which worked out perfectly for my schedule and Jake's, and he's gracious enough to join us here in the studio today. So Jake, appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was a little last minute, but we made it happen.
Very last minute. I think, kind of became fast friends a little bit, if I'm not over speaking, with some of the golf conversation we've already had today, as well as I got to tour one of your beautiful model homes on this past week as well. I think it just went live on Friday or Saturday, right?
Yeah, Friday night, Saturday morning, somewhere in there.
So, awesome. Yeah. I appreciate you reaching out to me on Instagram and inviting me out to come tour that. That was really cool. And I'm glad I showed up to the right place after showing up to the mobile home park by the Caldwell Airport.
Yeah, the new construction addresses don't always work how you hope.
Google worked out this time.
Yeah, Google works. It's the Apple Maps that needs to play some catch up. So.
Yeah, it's all good. Well, hey, let's start with a couple things. Your Instagram personal bio starts with surrender to Jesus. That's absolutely caught my eye. One of the things we're trying to do on this podcast is, of course, create great content, but my goal is that it brings glory to Christ. And sometimes what we do on this show is we talk about that a little bit. So I would love the opportunity to kind of hear from you about that. So surrender to Jesus, what does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, I became a Christian so long ago. Like I was probably younger than 12, but got baptized at 12. So still remember that decision. But yeah, I mean, just fast forwarding, really just my company used to be called Stone Precision Contractors. We changed it to Tetelestai Homes. Tetelestai means it is finished, which points to just Jesus on the cross. And that's kind of our goal in life. And so just putting surrender to Jesus on front page of our Instagram or my Instagram, kind of just, it just points to him. It's not pointing to my name. Obviously, my name's at the very, very top. But same thing with the company name. Just, who's going to get the glory at the end of the day, kind of like you're saying with the podcast and stuff, is like, it's going to be hopefully him. And he's sovereign over everything. So just trying to point back to him. Nothing needs to be pointed to me. When we had a couple other names in line too for kind of the rebrand. I don't even remember what they were, but a couple of them, when we Googled them, it was like, it wasn't the first thing that came up. It was like something like one of them had to do with salvation. I was like, that's kind of a cool name. Let's look it up and Google it, see what comes up. And so that's the other thing is like, it's one of those unique words that not everybody knows. They don't know how to pronounce it most of the time either. Right. We actually meet quite a few people who know what it means, but quite a few people that don't. And the decision with that was kind of like, okay, if somebody hears this or comes across them on Instagram, Facebook, and they don't know, they're going to go Google it. What comes up? Are they going to get a gospel presentation is kind of the goal.
I hope so. The
gospel is the only thing that saves. So
that's right.
That was kind of the thought process, pointing to him. And yeah, there's probably another couple things that I could maybe think about that we're kind of, going through name wise, but yeah, that was the one. And then we attend a church called 1122 in Jacksonville, Florida. We still watch online, and our pastor's got Tetelestai tattooed on his arm.
Oh, cool.
That's kind of where we learned that word was from him. And
nice.
I mean, they talk about it every weekend. So yeah,
that's great. Good inspiration there.
Yeah.
Hey, let's jump into it. We think our audience is entrepreneurs. That's who we're trying to market to here. We're trying to build a successful podcast. I'm trying to build a successful mortgage business. You're a home builder. You're trying to build a business as well. I love that you're leading with Christ and wanting to give him glory. That's tricky in this world of being an entrepreneur. Not necessarily tricky to want to give Christ glory, but I think we run into trying to build our own thing a lot, right? And so one of the things I'm struggling with even today, and something I'm praying about all the time is, God, I pray that my efforts would be for your kingdom and your glory and not just myself, right?
Yeah.
But as a business owner, you're trying to build a brand and you're trying to build a product that you're trying to sell, right? For profit, for example.
Yeah.
Tell me about that challenge and that balancing act. How does that work?
It's kind of funny. I had told one of my buddies, he was like, you better be careful with that name. People are going to think you're giving away free houses or something because it's been paid for. Like, I was like, that's hilarious, actually.
Yeah.
I think most of it's just like my whole conversation with Christ, even growing up to the simplest things of, I don't even know. Just some of the dumbest things that I can think of, even just going on, whether it was going on a date or going to the grocery store and going a certain direction. It's just like, hey, I can only I can only control certain things. Like I only have agency over some of my decisions. And so what doors are you going to open for me? And I'm going to head towards those doors. If you don't want me to go that way, you got to be in charge and you got to shut it. And so that's kind of my thought process, especially with the whole transitioning into spec builds and stuff, because we used to only do custom homes, and then I took like a year and a half off, and then we were like, let's just do specs. And so a lot of that comes with so many different processes of raising capital, figuring out the financing, meeting the right people to raise capital
Right.
from, meeting the right people to get the lots and stuff. I
Yeah.
mean, most people know in the Treasure Valley land is really hard to find. And so most of that was just like, hey, if these doors keep opening, I'm going to keep heading in this direction, and we're going to build a house and a product that is hopefully going to be used by a family, and hopefully they find Christ in it, or maybe their marriage gets renewed in it, just something, you know? And so
Yeah.
there's always that, like, those thoughts in the back of your head while you're moving forward on building your brand and stuff. And that's why we named it Tetelestai, is like, if we're going to build something, let's build something that points to Jesus, you know?
Yeah.
And so I haven't really struggled with anything as far as like making money, making a profit and stuff. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in the Bible that talks about working, making a profit. I mean,
Yep.
there's things in there that says if you don't provide for your family, you're worse than an unbeliever.
That's
So
right.
there's I don't know. There could be a fine line. I try to keep everything pretty easy going. So hasn't been too much of a struggle, but as long as we're just building a product and doing everything that we do unto the Lord, I think we're just heading in a decent direction. So
Love it. Well, we can just end it right there. That's perfect.
right.
Just kidding. We won't stop there.
Yeah.
How'd you get into building? Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So growing up, my dad owned a construction company, had me roofing houses, you know, free child labor.
Yep.
I would do the same thing.
There you go.
So learned how to do some roofing stuff, some finished carpentry, flooring. And then, after 2008 and all that stuff, he ended up working for a different GC and everything. So he was working out of town a lot. And then kind of fast forward, I actually kind of got into the automotive diesel industry a little bit. Went to Darrell Dennis Technical Center here locally, took auto and diesel classes, and then worked at Kendall Ford for like a year maybe, and just kind of learned the automotive industry was not for me.
Yeah.
So, and then after that, I went and worked for a different local general contractor, just guy doing remodels, and really learned how to do like tile, finish carpentry, a little bit of framing. We would do some really cool remodels in the North End and stuff, and in the foothills. And I think I worked for him for like maybe 9-ish months, somewhere in there. Yeah. So kind of just helped me hone in my skills. He's like a really cool old Christian dude, blue collar guy with a lot of skill. So kind of helped me hone my skills and just attention to detail. I don't have the most attention to detail, so I rely on other people, like doing puzzles and stuff just drives me insane. So, but yeah, ended up going and working for my dad, who was working for another GC doing commercial stuff. So he kind of threw me in as a superintendent doing McDonald's remodels, mostly through California, Nevada, Utah. First one I did, I think, was in some random town in Wyoming. I don't even remember what it's called. I think they had a McDonald's, a Denny's, and a Starbucks. So we were there to remodel the McDonald's. Okay. So did that for a little while. Realized I didn't really like working out of town too much at that point in my life, being, like 19, 20 years old. I just wanted to ride my dirt bike, honestly. So wanted to dirt bike, mountain bike, hang out with my friends. Ended up kind of coming back here, worked for them a little bit on some local projects and stuff. And then kind of fast forward to 2018. I think I would have been like 22 back then, somewhere in there. Started my own company. Kind of just came to the conclusion, I'm not the greatest employee at all. And I kind of want to do my own thing. I have really good ideas. I just don't feel comfortable or confident doing it in somebody else's company. Remember a couple times, like, wanting to, like, hey, we should build some houses in Dry Creek Ranch. And they were just kind of like, maybe not. And I was like, I should just go do all this on myself.
Yeah. If you ideas,
you
right?
know? So yeah, that's kind of what led to me starting that back up. And that was Stone Precision Contractors, which is the same branding and stuff my dad used back in the early 2000s. And kind of just went with that. And the funny story is like, there's some stories of entrepreneurs starting out like with their back against the wall, and that was kind of for me. I don't talk about it too much, but yeah, I lived off a credit card for like 6-7 months while I was grinding, trying to find my first project to take on, and that was from like January to July, August, somewhere in there. Didn't And then finally, I think I landed a couple jobs come August from leads that started in January, February. So it started out feeling like it was kind of hot, like, oh, I got these leads. Let's work them, start the conversations and stuff. And none of them came to fruition until later. And that was just learning process. I mean, people get their real estate license, and experienced realtors will tell them, don't expect to make money for 6 or 7 months.
Yeah, I would say 9 to 12, right? Kind of just depends on, I wouldn't call it luck, but it kind of depends on the opportunities that you stumble upon, right?
Yeah,
or the doors that get opened for you.
So. Yeah. And end of that year, I ended up making a little over 6 figures that year, just in the last quarter, just from all the work put in at the beginning, So yeah, it was a process. That's for sure.
That's cool. Who would you credit to the entrepreneurial mindset that you have?
I guess my parents. I don't know. It definitely feels like a gift from God for sure.
Yeah.
So probably him to start, and then my parents. They never pushed me to go to college. They pushed me to think outside the box, do my own thing, be creative, type of thing. So, mostly them, probably, outside of God. So
that's great.
Yeah.
You mentioned a couple times you love to ride dirt bikes. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I technically started riding really late compared to what most people start at to, go full pro and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think I started when I was like 8 or 9. Most kids start at 2. Nowadays they start pretty much at 1 because you got those cool balance bikes and stuff. And so
no pedals.
Yeah, no pedals, just pushing along. It's really cool. Yeah, I started riding, fell in love with it. I used to play football, basketball. I even did MMA for a little while, and dirt bikes is just nothing like it. So it's a lot of fun. Started taking it really seriously when I was probably like 16, 17, started training for it, hired a trainer and stuff. And, definitely didn't hit my peak till way later. But I, moved up and raced in a professional class. It's hard to like explain the levels in dirt bikes, because you have the guys that are on TV that are just top level, but
is there much money in dirt biking?
Not at an amateur level.
And even at the
there's a lot of money going out of your pocket. But no, the professional guys, I mean, if you're in the top 3, you're probably taking home, I would guess, 6 figures just from the race,
Yeah.
And then they got their sponsor deals. Like, I have some close friends that know a lot of information about that stuff. And I mean, a couple of the guys that are getting a couple million a year from their goggle deal or their boot deal or gear deal or whatever. So once you get up there, you're sitting pretty well. It's definitely not as much as like football or basketball or anything like that, but sport's still growing. So
it's all eyeballs generated.
Yeah.
Eyeballs generate the income, right?
Yeah, so pretty much. So, but yeah, even at our amateur level, I try to describe it to people. It's probably like college football, like it's like amateur, but there's like A class amateur. And that's kind of what I moved up into and raced that. And those top guys end up going to the pros, and, most of them do pretty well, even top 20 and stuff like that. So, but yeah, even just being in love with dirt bikes, fast forward, me and my wife, we can talk more about this if we want to, but we ended up moving into an RV, traveling the US for about a year and a half, living in that RV. And we stayed at motocross tracks, and I like took a year and a half, 2 years off working just to like go ride as much as possible and train, get some actual coaching. Cause I got gym training, fitness training. I never got coaching on the bike.
Yeah.
And so when I did that, like, we showed up at this facility, I rode their track and stuff, felt pretty good. And I think my lap time was like 1:15 or something like that on this training track. By the time we left, I could do a couple 30-minute motos right around the 59-second range.
Dang.
So this coach shaved like 14 seconds a lap off my lap time.
That's a lot.
Just with coaching. They had a gym there too, so I was still doing a lot of physical training, but we were on the bike like 4 or 5 days a week.
Nice.
And so being able to experience that was really cool. So
the cross-country trip within the RV was for the purpose of, hey, I want to go all in with motorcycle, with motocross, basically.
Kinda. It was a mix. It was like we were actually going to go do some traveling through France and Italy, and then COVID hit. And we were like, I'm not a person that's going to wear a mask everywhere I go. I don't want to get stranded somewhere.
That's right.
And so we were like, why don't we just buy an RV? We hear Texas and Florida is pretty free still. So we'll just go kind of play in the South. And we ended up, going through California, spent a bunch of time in like Sedona, Scottsdale, Arizona, Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, pretty much the whole South.
Yeah.
Hit Florida, and then we worked our way up to the Outer Banks. I raced a national in Pennsylvania. Hung out a lot, North Carolina, South Carolina, pretty much that whole side. It was fun being over there on the East Coast because, like, in Idaho, it feels like it takes like 12 hours just to get out of our state. And like over there, we can go from Florida to friggin' Pennsylvania and hit everything in between in like 9 hours.
States are a little smaller. You can get through them faster.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it was kind of a mix of like, hey, I'm going to ride. Like, I really want to ride more, go ride all the tracks that I can while we can. And some of it was just wanting to travel. My wife's a travel nerd, so she can get out anytime she wants.
That's awesome.
Or wants to get out as much as possible. So that was kind of like, just like, let's get an RV and go travel while the world's kind of shut down. So
yeah. 2 questions. Where'd you meet your wife?
I think we matched on like a dating app, and then I hit her up on Instagram, and she was like graduating college. And so, yeah, we went on one date and never stopped hanging out.
Nice.
So yeah, it's kind of funny.
That's a cool story. And then you guys set sail, or I guess hit the road is a better way to put it. Yeah. How long were you guys gone?
We were gone from Boise from the end, what was it, 2022 to 2025. So like 3.5 years total.
Okay.
I think we might have left at the end of 2021.
Living in your motorhome the whole time?
Yeah, living in the motorhome, yeah. So
crazy. Yeah,
it was cool. Yeah, we got a 31-foot motorhome, and then I was towing a 16-foot trailer, enclosed trailer for the dirt bikes and mountain bikes and everything on the back. So, yeah.
So the obvious question is, where'd you get money during that period of time?
Construction company. So I kind of came on like some real estate investing podcasts and stuff kind of right as I started making money through my construction company.
You were a guest on some real estate podcasts?
No, I was just listening. So mainly Bigger Pockets, honestly.
Okay, yeah.
And so I was like, I knew about rentals. My parents didn't have good experience with rentals, so they kind of talked down on them. But I was like, I don't know. It sounds like a decent idea. So
just to clarify, you were able to fund a 3-year trip through real estate investing.
Yeah.
That's pretty rad. Yeah. Let's talk. So let's delve into that just a little bit. So your first exposure was Bigger Pockets, and your parents were kind of iffy on the idea.
Not even for me. They had a couple rentals like that back in the day that didn't really work out the way they probably thought of thing.
Why do you think they didn't work for them?
I don't know. I don't know enough about it to know anything.
Cool.
To be honest.
No worries.
I just know the attitude towards them was the thing. So but yeah, once I started making money from the construction company, even before that, I actually bought my first house and did a little flip on it. It was kind of like a break-even type project, nothing crazy, but learned a lot and whatnot. And then I actually bought the house back in 2017, I think, that I live in right now. It was a rental. It's been a rental since 2017. And then it was like, when we decided to move back to Idaho from Florida, I was like, oh, this guy's moving out. Let's just go move into this one. Location's awesome. So we live in this one now, but I bought that in 2017. And then me and my wife house hacked again together, kind of as we were getting married at the end of 2019. And we gutted that house in Caldwell, completely remodeled it. And then there was a garage in the back. We converted that to an ADU. So kind of got 2 rentals out of that one. And then, we just kept making money from the construction company, and I didn't upgrade my lifestyle at all. We pretty much just invested in real estate, like that ADU. I mean, I think it cost like $80,000. I paid cash for that, so we don't owe anything on that.
Nice.
Our remodel just paid cash for that. Don't owe anything extra on that outside of the original mortgage and stuff. And then house hacked again in Florida. Used our vacation home loan, the 10% down on another
second
house.
Home. Yeah.
In Florida as well. And so I like the Florida market. And then, we kind of got into a mix of like buying our own rentals. And then later down the road, we started raising private capital for other people to get a return and kind of be involved in the rentals as well, just to make it easier on us. But we bought a handful of them. And then today we have 55 doors. So
personally, you and your wife, that's a lot of doors.
Yeah. Most of them, it's not as many properties. So I always count doors because each door cash flows. So that's how we do it in the real estate industry. Most people are like, you have 55 properties. I'm like, no, I got like maybe 11, somewhere in there.
10
10
so
or
a lot
11.
Of multifamily.
No, we actually, have you heard of Pad Split?
No, I don't know that term.
You'll be able to tag them in the podcast now. But yeah, so Pad Split, I think, started in Atlanta. And the whole idea, it's called co-living.
Okay.
And they're kind of like Airbnb. They're kind of like a tech company where they have this platform. It kind of works like a property management software mixed with they're actually out there trying to get you the tenants. They're filling your rooms, and they're kind of helping alongside on the financial side. They collect the rent and everything and do all the marketing for you. We have like a couple 10-bedroom houses, couple 8s, couple 7s and 6s. And basically you take a single family house and you get rid of all the shared living space. So we're taking dining rooms, living rooms, and adding as many bedrooms as we can.
Okay.
Typically it's 4 bedrooms per 1 bathroom that you want to be at. So pretty much all of our bedrooms that are over, or houses that are over 8 bedrooms, we have like 3 bathrooms.
Yeah.
So, and we rent them out for anywhere from $600 to $720 a month.
So the tenant's renting the bedroom.
Yeah. So
is there no common space at all?
There's a little bit. We'll leave like enough space in the kitchen for like a dining room table, and then set up bar stools at like.
But the kitchen is shared.
Yeah, kitchen's shared, bathrooms are shared.
Okay.
So overall shared property. Average age over in Florida, I don't even think I have any young people in my houses right now. They're all over 40,
really?
Like 45, like single.
Typically single people?
Yeah, single blue collar guys. Like I have a house like that have like 4 guys that work, I think, at the same mechanic shop. Yeah. And so we kind of came across that pretty early stages. Like I know like Brandon Turner, Pace Morby, they've gotten into the Pad Splits probably just within the last year. And
nice.
we've been on them for the last 3 years or so.
So the goal is to find a property you can get rid of common space, add as many bedrooms as possible, leave a kitchen, add bathrooms. So, like a 1-to-4 ratio type of thing.
Yeah. And we don't being experienced with like building houses and stuff, I think was an advantage for us, because I got pretty good at like eyeballing floor plans. Like, hey, what can we, because the least amount of remodel we have to do, the better.
Yeah.
Because like if you're trying to add bathrooms and stuff, your ROI is going down because you're having to invest way more money than you want. And so most of ours, we've been able to find a really good floor plan that already has, for one, like AC ducts going to each part of the house.
That's good.
And so we don't have to move anything. We just throw up interior walls and go from there. So ours have been pretty minimal. But in Florida, like one of them, for example, we bought a fully remodeled house for $230,000.
Crazy.
Yeah, in a decent location.
And that would have been in the last few years?
Yeah, that was probably 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, somewhere in there. Yeah.
And how many bedrooms are in that one?
That one's an 8-bedroom.
And you're getting $600 a door?
Yeah, roughly somewhere in there. Some of them are smaller, so it ranges. But on average, like our take home cash flow, we try to be like above $5,000. So after
per home?
Yeah.
Geez, so you're clearing 5 per home?
Yeah, typically. So we got a couple houses like after the fees and everything, because Pad Split does take, they changed their fee structure, but it's like I think they take the first 10 days total, and then it's like 8% after that or something like that.
What are the leases like? Are they month to month?
No, they're week to week.
Week to week?
Yeah. So sometimes we get a lot of turnover, which is fine.
So then if you're getting more money than like short-term rental, basically.
Oh, yeah. And it's a lot more stable because these people, and it's easier to manage because you're not like full hospitality.
How is it more stable? Is it because they're not vacationers? They're actually
people
they're
living
there.
Like my average tenure is like 7 or 8 months.
Okay.
Somewhere in there.
That's
good.
I've
got people that have been in one house since we opened it for the last like 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So if it's a good house and you get good people in there, they'll stay. Huh. So, and they fill up pretty quick. Like it's low income housing. It's like that next step up. I've got a couple, cool thing is too, I got a couple members, they call them members, not tenants, but we have a few in there that came out of homelessness, and this was their first step to be able to afford something.
That's cool though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Interesting. Okay, so the appeal is it's less expensive than renting their own place, less expensive than an apartment.
Yeah, much less. Because, even a studio in Jacksonville is like, even a rundown one in a bad location, you're still looking at $1,200-$1,300 a month, and that's before utilities.
And this is half of that.
Yeah.
And this is all inclusive.
Yeah. Like utilities, it's all staged too. Like we provide a bed. The only thing they have to bring is like pillows and sheets, blankets and stuff. So
wow.
We provide like a TV, nightstand, dresser, bed, mattress, and like some bath essentials, like as far as just like a bath mat and stuff like that. So.
All right. So let's just role play. If I wanted to get into something like this and I didn't want to start with an 8-bedroom, for example, what market would you recommend?
I mean, all of mine are in Jacksonville, Florida, and it's probably like I just have everything set up there, so I'm a little biased, but I know Pad Split is just now like making their way to Utah.
Okay.
They're not in Idaho yet, as far as I know. They're working on, they might be in LA now. It just depends. It's hard with the way prices are now and the way interest rates are.
Well, the further west you get, the more
It's
expensive it is.
because like that, and rents are high in the South. It's weird. Like the first time we visited over there and started looking at real estate, I was like, this house rents out for $2,200 a month and it only costs like 220 grand to get into.
There's very little appreciation, right? And so then the demand for rental units maybe is higher because people don't have the incentive to buy the house because the appreciation isn't there.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting for sure.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I've heard really good things about like Raleigh and Charlotte, North Carolina. And
are they in those markets?
Yeah, they're in those markets. They're all over the East Coast. I think Atlanta would be a good market. Anywhere Florida is probably good. I've heard Orlando, Jacksonville, Tampa is pretty decent. There's markets in Texas that I know are pretty good, like San Antonio, for example. One of the biggest things that Pad Split's working through and some things that I've had to deal with is like the shock from like the code enforcement officers. They don't know what it is and they don't know how to label it because it's not like a rooming house technically. The way it's structured,
you could get misinterpreted as like a halfway house, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so the way Pad Split legally structures it is it's like it's a weekly leases, but they technically rent the house out from us. So my lease isn't with the members or the tenants. My lease is technically with Pad Split. And so they're free to do whatever they want as far as having families in and out of there. But like, it's weird. I don't know. We've had to deal with some code enforcement stuff, and Pad Split has some lawyers that knows how to word things and deal with it. And most of it's just educating the city on what we're doing. And most of the time they're like, oh, that's a good idea type of thing because the government ain't going to do it. And so yeah, most of the time it's just that. But we've had a couple code enforcement officers that like hate Pad Split and they like want to shut it down type of thing. And we're kind of like helping out the community here, you know? So
yeah,
it's
housing.
interesting. Yeah.
That's really cool. Okay. So again, specific question. If I wanted to get into one of these, what is the upfront expense other than buying the house?
So you got whatever loan product you use, but typically I budget about 15 to 20K depending on the house and what it needs. I would say you're about $1,100 to $1,200 per room in staging.
Okay.
And then I don't know, $5 to $7 for your remodel on the interior. It's not even really a remodel. You're just throwing up interior walls. And sometimes you may have to add some flooring or fix some stuff. Most of it's just walls, sheetrock, paint. And sometimes we'll throw in some insulation just for sound barrier, depending on where the rooms are. So, about 15 grand, I would say.
Okay. So not
it's not that expensive. Not too crazy. So,
and when you're modeling these out, you're looking for $5,000 of cash flow per.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're shooting for.
That's awesome.
We got a couple that, our 10 bedrooms, they're usually in the 6,500 range on average. Sometimes we'll, depending on how the month like overlays and stuff, because as soon as they book, like if they book on a Wednesday and the month is up on a Tuesday, then sometimes the rents get pushed off to the next month as they come in. So each month is a little weird and different, but we've had our 10 bedrooms have done like 7,500 on a couple months here and there. So,
crazy. Yeah. Feels pretty passive for you?
Yeah, it's pretty like I manage them all myself just because I have cleaners, I have handymen and stuff over there, so I don't have to do too much. But it is like it's kind of like Airbnb. Some of these people, they just like, I don't know, people are funny and weird all at the same time. Yeah. But you don't have to be as nice to them, which is what I like. It's like, hey, if you don't like something in this house, like just book a different one. Like there's a lot of them.
Yeah, they're literally committed for a week.
Yeah, you're committed for a week, and even then I'll give you a refund if you hate it that bad type of thing. Yeah. And you get some weird people. The biggest thing is like trying to deal with them fighting like
with each other.
Yeah. And like sometimes I have to remind them, I'm like, hey, I'm not here to babysit you guys. Like I host the house and I'll take care of the house, but you guys need to act like adults. And some of the most petty stuff comes up. Like I had a lady that would message me, like, I swear every 30 minutes because some other lady glared at her or something. I'm like, dude, just move on, like move out. I don't know. Like,
so not passive actually, if you're self-managing.
Yeah, not the most, but sometimes you kind of ignore it. And I'm kind of integrating AI right now and stuff too to kind of
Okay.
take over some of that messaging and whatnot. And all the messaging is done in the Pad Split app, so it's pretty easy. It's not more than 3 hours a week.
And you've created value. This property that was worth X before, now that it's converted into a pad split, and you could show the success you're having is
Yeah,
probably worth quite a bit more than it was
yeah.
before.
I've talked to a couple lenders and brokers, and this might be something you could dig into on your end too.
Yeah.
They're starting to come out because they came out with like the Air DNA, being able to get a
Yep.
loan for an Airbnb. So they're working on doing that for pad splits now too, from what I've heard. I haven't gotten one. The loans that we got for these properties, they just used Air DNA as well because sometimes the rents nowadays are just so tight they won't
Yeah.
lend on them if it's a full DSCR.
Correct.
So yeah, I've talked to a couple people. They're working on getting a pad split loan figured out to where they could sell for more because it is multifamily income on a single family purchase, which
Yeah,
is
I mean,
great.
it's very attractive investment if there's an opportunity to clear 5,000 plus of cash flow
Yeah.
on a monthly
And
basis.
when somebody's looking at buying a business or buying a turnkey rental, like
That's far more.
they could spend an extra 40, 50 grand on the loan side. That makes more money for us. Their mortgage is only what, $600 more, if that. So you're still cash flowing.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah, feels like a good investment. We'll see later down
That's
the
cool.
road if somebody comes out with one of those. Then if you're paying cash, then yeah, all day long, like your return's way better than buying a single family that is just on a long-term rent, you know.
Yeah, when it's all said and done, you have to look at it and make sure it pencils and that there's
Yeah.
actually opportunity there for you. One of the things I talk to people about all the time is, do you want to be a real estate investor when they're thinking about, hey, should I convert my existing home to a rental or not? So my question is, well, is this going to be a one-off? Like, do you want to own just one rental property?
Yeah.
And it's going to be a long-term rental hold for you? Or are you looking to actually build a portfolio and, acquire some doors? And more often than not, it's that, well, it would just be the one. And then I'm like, well, then it's probably not worth it for you.
Right. Yeah.
You're probably not going to do better than break even on a monthly
Yeah.
basis on it. And then, is it worth the headache? Yeah, you're getting leverage depreciation, especially if you're out here in the West, right? Which is
Yeah.
good. So I guess it kind of just depends, but
I
it's not a
know.
moneymaker if you're only
Right.
going to own one door.
Yeah, I feel like this is one of the only strategies out there that's a good idea for like trying to build up cash flow for the sake of having some extra money. And I think that's like one of the biggest disservices I think like Bigger Pockets did for the world was just like selling this dream of, oh, you can just buy rentals and live off of them. And it's like, if you look at all the wealthy people in the world, I I definitely started buying rentals because of that. But I still also, even when we lived in Florida, I still had my business running here that was producing money. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't like my only thing that I was relying on. And so, like, the wealthiest people in the world, we only buy real estate literally for the tax write off and depreciation. That's it. We don't really, I mean, obviously, yeah, it should cash flow because that's kind of your safety net. But, if it doesn't, you should have an operating business and active income from that to offset anything else. So,
probably the wrong conversation for here right now. I'm probably a little too technical, but have you done cost segregation studies on all of your doors as well?
I haven't. I should. Couple of like when I kind of figured out what that was and how to do it, it was like kind of just like too far down the road for it to be really worth it. Especially most of our properties that we've bought have been under 300 grand anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like not gonna, even if we did do that, it's not gonna change too much. So we've kind of just left them. But in the future, if we buy some more expensive ones and stuff, we'll for sure be doing that. So
cool. Well, thanks for that rabbit trail. That was awesome. I learned a lot. Hopefully the audience learns a lot as well. And we can definitely plug, what's it called again?
Pad Split.
Pad Split. Okay, cool. I'm going to look into that as well once we're done here today.
Yeah.
Well, we're having a great conversation. Tell me a little bit about Tetelestai homes here locally.
Tetelestai.
Oh my goodness, I did it wrong.
Almost nailed it.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about Tetelestai homes. Did I say it right this time?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll do it again. Tell me a little bit about Tetelestai homes here locally. We'd love to understand kind of where you've got properties available, where you're headed, and let's.
Yeah, so we're in Middleton right now, a subdivision called Spring Hill Ranch. That's the one you came and checked out. We got 5 houses in there. So
beautiful.
2 are on market, one's pending. One went pending in 12 days. One's been on market a minute. We've had like tons of showings. So a lot of people that are like, this is in our top 2, we'll let you know type of thing. So, and then the one that just went live on Saturday that you came and checked out. So, and then at the end of that cul-de-sac, which will be our last one in there, unless somebody wants to build a custom in there, that'll be our last one. And that's like a it's a pretty sick house. It's like a corner lot in a cul-de-sac. It's 1.45 acres, and we're building, I think the house is 38. I think it's 3883 square feet.
Big home.
Yeah. And the garage is 2,000 square feet. The RV
Dang.
bay is like 27 feet wide by 50 feet deep. So it's a really cool house. Yeah, 4-bed, 3.5 bath. It's got a massive, I think the flex room's like 19 by 15 feet.
Nice.
All the bedrooms are over 14 by 14s. It's got an office as well, massive walk-in pantry with a window out to the front and stuff. So it's a really cool house. I'm excited to see that one come together. And that one, we'll probably be done with that one by hopefully end of October, somewhere in there. So, cool. And then we got another one wrapping up. So lot 3 is what you looked at. Lot 2 is pending. Lot 4, that one will be done in about 2 weeks as well.
Nice.
So 5
in total in that neighborhood.
Yeah, 5 in that neighborhood. So what
was the trick to getting the one sold in 12 days, do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. It's really pretty. So we're still learning kind of our style. And one thing that we do different is we kind of look at the lot, because no dirt's the same. So we hand draw every single floor plan for that lot. Sometimes we'll recycle parts of a floor plan and we'll just really change the elevation and the way it lives and feels and sizes of the spaces and stuff if we ever do reuse a floor plan. Most of the time we're just hand drawing from scratch and kind of going up from there. And so one of the biggest things that we do is we just never build the same house twice. So the people that are buying, we just tell them like, hey, we're not a builder that we're going to take this and build it in the subdivision down the road. It's a one of a kind. It's like we're trying to treat our houses like art. The more times you copy and paste art, the value drops. So
that's right.
We're just trying to keep it up and make it as valuable as possible for the end buyer. So we're still learning our style. A couple of our houses we've done like a modern mountain theme interior, and some of these other ones we're kind of leaning into. We were trying to play it safe, and then we kind of are realizing that people actually like what our unique style actually is. And my wife, she's our lead designer, and she kind of takes the reins on the design side. I kind of help more on the architecture and the functionality of the floor plan and stuff and the way it lives and whatnot like that. But she takes reins on the overall design, and she's spent a lot of time in like France and Italy and Portugal and stuff like that. And then our time traveling in the RV through Florida, seeing all these low country properties in the South and these really expensive luxury properties on the coast and whatnot. Whether that's Georgia, North or South Carolina, all the way up to the Outer Banks, and then east and west sides of Florida and stuff. We're kind of taking that architecture and those designs and kind of applying it to our version of like, we're calling it like a low country coastal or like a southern transitional is kind of like our actual style. There's really no name for it. So lot 2 was kind of the first time we took a jump on that. Cool. It's very coastal feeling. It's very unique. Like we put a fireplace in the foyer that's got like a micro cement surround, and everybody loves it. And I'm like, well, we're going to just have to start doing that almost on every house then, I guess. So
a little signature item then.
Yeah. So, and just like kind of adding some fun details like this one, the office has like hidden doors. Like you've seen a hidden pantry before. We kind of did that same cabinetry. So the office has a hidden door to the master suite through the closet instead of the other side. So, I mean, you can get out of bed, bathroom, closet, office like pretty quickly. So it's pretty cool. A lot of people like that. And the floor plan's really cool too. So just getting comfortable and kind of being a little bit more bold with our style that we truly like and stuff too is, I think, going to help in the future. And same thing with the one you walked. It's like it's got a southern transitional flair to it. It's a little modern on the architectural side, but it's very, very warm, organic southern on the interior. So.
Well, it's obvious you love what you're doing, which is cool. You're also a really good podcast guest because you keep saying the things that I'm going to ask you about, which is rad. So just to make sure everybody hears it, you guys don't ever build the same home twice, right? You've got an Instagram post that says that specifically, which is really cool. And it makes, I think, the buyer feel really special. Like, hey, this was built specifically, maybe not for me, but for this piece of dirt. And now it's mine, which is awesome.
Yeah. And it gets harder because the more we build, like the more ideas we got to come up with. And that's why I say we do recycle some floor plans, but the elevations are never the same. Like we'll completely change the exterior. And like even one of the floor plans that we have reused, we added vaults in certain areas and tray ceilings in certain areas and some different, like, I guess, dimensions in certain areas, you could say, to just make it live different than the other one. So it's its own unique house. And we're not using the same light fixtures over and over again, not using the same tiles. Like that's one thing I see with some other builders. They'll reuse light fixtures and tiles. They got their fixture package. They know what it's going to cost. It makes it easier to just kind
or
of
they know what
turnkey.
they like, right?
Yeah, that too. So we're trying to kind of just be unique and do our style, but do our style differently over and over and over again. So maybe in 6 years we'll be like, yeah, we might need to reuse that light fixture again. Running out of options. So
Yeah.
Or at least a different variant. Even if we did use that same light fixture, we won't put it in the same spot. We'll make it work somewhere else, like over a bathtub or somewhere else, you know? So
at least it has a unique look to it.
Yeah, exactly.
What if somebody says, hey, I want that one on a different lot? What do you say to them?
We haven't had that yet. Well, we've had a couple people talk about it, and I don't want to say no, you know? And the cool thing is too about us being full custom is I would say probably yes to the floor plan. Most people are going to be like, once they get into it and we start asking them about like their lifestyle and the way they want the house to live, we're gonna change it. So it still won't be the same house. We can take that same floor plan and just tweak it. Maybe there's always some criticism, you know, even for our own houses when we walk them, we're like, oh, we should have done that differently. And most end buyers don't notice that kind of stuff, but we do. And so when that happens, if it happens, we'd have let them use the same floor plan. We'd just kind of adapt it to the way they live and how they want it to feel. So
And it still ends up being unique enough.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Cool. So 5 available. Well, no, I guess 4 available at the moment. Is that right?
Yeah, they're all available.
One of them is in contract though.
Yeah, one's pending. The other one that's under construction is available as well.
Okay.
Yeah, we're marketing that right now. If somebody wanted to jump in and buy it, that would give them the opportunity to come in, and it'd be a semi-custom at that point because obviously footings are in the ground and framing's up almost. So, but they can customize light fixtures, where the lights go, tile, colors, all that fun stuff. So
you guys are out on Ardmore Court right now in Caldwell, Purple Sage area, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Where are you headed next?
So we got a subdivision called Longbow Estates in Star off Floating Feather and Pollard, kind of behind River Birch Golf Course.
Love that golf course.
Yeah, super cool area. That should be ready for us to build on in October, I think.
Okay.
And so houses are going to be starting about 1.3 million. It's fully gated. Each lot is roughly about 0.3 acres. So good amount of space for a good size house. We're going to try to cram in 3-car with a 50-foot RV bays on all our houses. And again, we're hand drawing floor plans from the ground up based on the shape of the lots and stuff. So we got those coming up. We got a house in Wyatt's Hollow. I did a video on my Instagram for that one, and it's probably going to be the most unique build, arguably in the Treasure Valley. It's something that you won't see unless you go either Sun Valley or maybe parts of Montana. It's very modern mountain, and we're going to kind of cram our style into a modern mountain theme.
Cool.
So it's going to feel warmer and not as cold on the interior, but it's like, I think it's a little over 2,000 square foot of outdoor living. So it's going to have a daylight basement, a theater room. It's like a 4,500 square foot floor plan, building it into a hillside. And we're really kind of leveraging that hillside to capture the views because it looks over the Owyhees across the valley.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're shoving the double RV bays in the garage kind of behind the house. So when you're driving up, you'll only see like the daylight basement and technically the back patio because the front of the house will be on the back side. So it's kind of hard to explain.
Well, we can link to it if you've got it on your Instagram. We'll just throw it up here on the screen.
Yeah, for sure. But we're excited for that one. We're going to break ground on that one in October, and that one's we just started marketing for it too. Got actually a couple of leads that are really interested in it, but I put in there too. We're going to list that thing at like probably 2.3 million. So it'll be a big one, and might try to enter it into the parade next year. So
good idea. Have you been in the parade before?
No, we haven't. So haven't really had a house. Like all our houses are awesome, but it's like, I don't know. There's so many houses in that under 2 million range in the parade. I'm just kind of like, just waiting for that one that's like that 2.3 million range, something unique that's very different that people can come walk. So
cool.
Yeah.
How long has the current business been operating? Tetelestai?
Well, we rebranded to Tetelestai like 2 years ago.
Okay.
So, and then in that time that we were in Florida in the RV, I had a superintendent here. He was managing all of our stuff, and then kind of let that fizzle out. And then I took like a year off-ish, somewhere in there. I got pretty burnt out from dealing with so many custom homes and stuff. Yeah. Just that client face-to-face relationship that lasts 12 to 18 months, it's not the easiest thing in the world. So we kind of just decided we were going to jump into specs and just do specs from here on out. Probably a month ago, we were kind of like, yeah, let's open the doors on customs, maybe just limit it to like maybe 2 or 3 a year type of thing, and got a handful of conversations going for those and stuff too. So it's kind of just a first come, first serve. We're more of a boutique builder. So you're really going to deal with me and a very small team on the custom side. So
kind of 6 one way, half a dozen the other, right? The custom's nice because then you can lean on the buyer's money, right? But on the spec side, you don't have to deal with the buyers necessarily, but then you got to bring in, you got to fund it yourself.
A lot of risk on that end. And then, custom side's guaranteed money, but a lot of headaches. So it's a weird balance.
Making money is work, it turns out, right?
Yeah, sadly.
Well, hey, thanks for giving me your time today. Dude, I hope this is the first of many conversations. Let's play golf together. That'd be rad.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate you educating us on a lot of things, right? It was fun to hear your story. Growing up, son of a builder, really, which was kind of a bit of your runway into it. Mm-hmm. And then we talked about motocross. We talked about leaving the Treasure Valley and hitting the road for multiple years, which was cool. And then here we are back to finishing up talking about your current projects and where you guys are headed. So appreciate you joining here today. Like I said, what's the best way for somebody to get in touch with you?
Probably Instagram.
Okay.
I mean, all my contact info's on there, website's on there.
Yep.
I mean, we're always raising private capital too. So if somebody's got some cash sitting and they want to get up to an 18% return, that's something we offer as well for just throwing it into our builds. It's a pretty good market for it. So
absolutely.
But yeah, my Instagram's just jstone.co.
Okay.
And then there's a link to our business Instagram in there too. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, cool. We'll wrap it up there. If this conversation was valuable for you, we'd ask that you could do us a favor, like and subscribe, and then also go share this with somebody who you think might inspire. So, Jake, thanks so much for joining us here today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Appreciate you, and we'll hope you have a great day.
Yeah, you too, man.
Thanks.